Welcome back to another part of Higurashi When They Cry. We're in a game store. Or toy store. Something like that. Anyway, what game will we be playing? There's 50,000 yen on the line.
そんなに俺を初戦で消したいかよ。
Yes, because you are the real threat.
さっきが隠せてないぜ。
あら、残念ですわね。ケイチさんにしてはなかなか慎重でしたよ。
Without a doubt, it was a trap. I don't know what she had up her sleeve, but if I fought with Satoko during the opening round, my loss would be more certain than if I went against Mion. A pitch-black miasma permeated the inside of the store. They all want to win that 50,000 yen prize that much? No, that's not right. The only ones competing for the prize money were the casual participants. I was different. I'd mistaken this as a way to fool around on a normal Sunday. Didn't matter when it was, or where it was, or who our opponents were. In our club, the goal was always to the very top of the mountain. An intense flame that no strong winds could extinguish, hot enough to melt any steel, began to burn inside me. The fuse had been lit on this unprecedentedly intense club battle. It was then that the owner of the store told me in a lackadaisical voice it was about time to begin. No, I don't know what the game is. Mion began with the formalities, standing in for the owner, and explained the rules of today's tournament. You're only playing to win. There is no second or third place. That's the same rule as our club. There were 15 people participating. We were to split up into 5 groups via a draw, and each group would have one winner. Each winner of the first stage would advance to the next in order to compete in the final.
さて、各卓の競技方法なんだけど、これは各卓で好きに決めていいよ。
Oh, okay, interesting.
このお店にあるゲームなら何を使っても OK。
Already in club mode DEFCON 1, I didn't let the small gap in the rules go unnoticed.
ミオン、質問いいか？みんな自分の得意ゲームを主張して決まらないんじゃねえのか？は
あ、そうだね。決まらないと始められないね。
The spectators also nodded along. It was only natural. There wasn't anybody who would simply cede to their opponent's suggestion.
紳士的に決めてほしいけど、そういう時は店のマスターが決めるってのでいい？
It was an event at a toy store after all. You'd expect the owner to referee. After that, Mion's rundown continued, tended with the rule that any losing participant would have to buy the game they lost at, a rather nice proposition for the store. Wait, does that mean that if they can't come to an agreement, the store owner just chooses the most expensive game? Oof. First, we used to draw to split into 5 groups. Everybody lined up single file and began to draw tickets that the shop owner had prepared. It was my turn. Alright, time to draw. No matter who I was up against, I'd crush him. It's 5 groups, isn't it? So, or is it 3 groups? I don't remember.
当然わかってると思うけど、部活メンバーには一般参加者とは別に罰ゲームがつくからね。
Of course.
そんなことだろうと思ったぜ。内容はなんだ？
勝者が敗者一人一人に1個命令。
Ooh. Contrary to how simple it sounded, it was a terrifying eventuality, the subject of which no one could predict. Damn you, Mion. Was she really planning on parading me around Hinamizawa and cashiers in a banana hammock with a tail attached to something? What? I don't even... What is a banana hammock anyway? The look on Mion's face told me she wasn't going to let me off that easy. On top of that, this time it wasn't just the person who finished last who'd have to submit to the penalty game.
敗者一人一人に命令。つまりビリでなくても罰ゲームってことだな。
そういうこと。
勝者がない場合は部活メンバーが全員途中で脱落したらお流れか？
Oh, that's not gonna happen, but...
ケイちゃん、脳みそは元気？
何？
The look on Mion's eye became that of a lion bearing its fangs.
我が部の再生映がどう間違ったらこんなひよこども相手に負けるっての？ケイちゃん、初戦で消えて私に恥かかさないでよ。
Yeah, there's 3 groups. That's what it is. But in that case, I mean, at least 2 of the club members are going to be knocked out in the first round. Even so, I didn't feel threatened. The more into it my opponent was, the stronger I would become.
見てろ。ただミオンにいじめられてたわけじゃないってことを見せてやるぜ。
会おうね。決勝で。
The results of the draw were enough to make you cry conspiracy. Oh, there's 5 groups. Never mind. So it's 3 people per group. All the members of the club were nicely divvied up among the 5 tables. How did that happen when the draw was just that random? I mean, I'm taking a probability course, but I really don't feel like calculating the probability of that. The thought that I was already caught in Mion's puppet strings made me feel uneasy. That was fine though. I'll crush all of your petty tricks. Now, where were my opponents? Everybody was headed to the table corresponding to the number on their ticket. The competition at my table was these 2. Huh. They look younger than me. Huh?
あれ、お前ら学校のクラスメイトだよな。
あ、どうも。
I'm guessing that's you because it's like the color of your hair.
富田です。
Sure thing, Tomata.
彼は岡村です。
I'll forget you in 2 minutes. Okamura-kun greeted me by nodding his head. So my opening round was to be against my juniors from school. Just saying, but it seemed like a pretty easy matchup. Lucky. Time to destroy them without mercy.
じゃあみんな、それぞれに対戦ゲームを決めて始めてちょうだい。
There's gonna be some kind of trick or something, and it's gonna be a tough battle. With Mion's declaration, the inside of the store suddenly became lively. Everybody was yelling their favourite games at each other, trying to gain an advantage before they started. Even my 2 classmates, who seemed taciturn, I forget. I'm tired. Give me a break, I guess. Yeah. At first glance, began to fiercely insist on their own games as soon as the signal was given. Of course, I would kick their suggestions aside. There was absolutely no reason to pick a game your opponent was good at.
悪いな。どれも知らないゲームなんだ。もっと知名度の高いやつにしてくれ。
Of course, they didn't agree to the games I suggested either. I could only smoke bitterly. Naturally, after 5 minutes, this table still couldn't agree on the game. Obeying the rules, we asked the store owner to decide on the game. Clearing his throat, the store owner brought over a board game from the back of the store. It was a game called Billionaire. Quite vintage we have here. Come to think of it, if you lose, you have to buy this game. That damn shop owner. Was he using this competition to get rid of all the games he couldn't sell?
これなら俺も知ってるよ。 2人も知ってるよな。ルーレットを回してゴールを目指す。
It's like the game of life.
最後に清算して一番お金を持ってるやつが勝ちだ。
Yeah, that sounds like the game of life, I think. The two nodded in agreement, and finally the game was underway. There isn't much strategy in that, it's more just, like, luck. At that time, I already had a feeling of impending crisis. I wouldn't realise why until the game progressed a bit.
1、2、3、4出産祝いをもらう。全員から$5000もらう。悪いね。
Okay, I've built a bit of a lead.
1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8と。ボーナス。銀行から$10万もらう。
What? The table was returned in an instant?
1、2、3。出世コースに進む。
Okay then. Oh, that's a pretty good route. Well, that's a good route. It seemed like only my piece was landing on the steady spaces. I had doubts as to why Mion didn't bring out board games for our club activities, but that reason was laid bare to me before my eyes. That's right. I'd only realised it now. This game was completely based on luck. I realised that at the very beginning, how could you not? What could I possibly do to make sure I ended up in first place at the end? The ultimate outcome of this game was decided in a place beyond human hands. How were the other club members doing? My eyes naturally wandered off to the other tables. Mion's table was... what? They weren't doing anything? Have they still not decided on a game? This naive idea just distracts me from the most frightening possibility. Mion was lounging about, leisurely holding some juice she bought from the vending machine outside in one hand. When our eyes met, she gave me a look of ease. Couldn't be. She'd already finished? What game was it? That easily? It's probably too late to be concerned with that at this point. Only 5 minutes since we started, the two opponents were already beyond recourse. They were sitting there, slumped over in disappointment, muttering to themselves, trying to figure out where they went wrong. For that, they'd find no answer. Was there any reason for their defeat other than they sat at the same table as Mion? Yeah. Then what about Ren's table? The spectators were causing quite a commotion. It looked like their game was Karuta. I don't know. The shop owner was apparently the one reading out the cards. Ren tended to dawdle along and space out a lot. Didn't she have a hard time with this game?
じゃあ読みますよ。犬も歩けばくたびれる。
Bad. The same instant the shop owner began sounding up the words, the card in question disappeared off the face of the table. No, the face of the earth. Impossible. Where did it go? It was against Rena's cheek. She was rubbing it there. What? How is, even by Rena's standards, how is it cute? I don't think you will. Looking at the card Reno was rubbing against her cheek, it was some anime-themed version of Kuruto with rather cute moe illustrations and decorating the cards. Basically, it was a picture of a pretty dog girl with a slightly large chest, panting and half in tears as she was being pulled along in a chain. With those types of pictures, even I could play with godlike speed. Of all the people to play that game, it had to be Reno. It was entirely possible that her fingertips were on the verge of breaking the sound barrier.
決まったね。
Mion smiled coolly. Seeing no further reason to keep watching, she turned back.
レナ、勝ってもこのカルタちゃんと買うよ。
Okay.
お持ち帰り。
After that, the second the cards started being read out. Bam, bam. Such decisive sounds echoed. Yeah, I think in this kind of setting, rather than letting the story choose a game based on luck, choose something which your opponent thinks they're good at, but you can still influence it, maybe. Well then, how about Satoko? Oh, she was playing a rather orthodox game. Concentration. Judging them from a distressed look on Satoko's face, it seemed that she was struggling somehow. One of the main characteristics of concentration is that the pace of the game speeds up as it goes on. As the number of cards to memorize decreases, it becomes easier to match several pairs in a row. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that the first person to take over the flow of a match can run away as the winner. The cards still in play had decreased. If you memorized the cards that had been turned over before, you should have a good chance to sweep the table at this point. Satoko probably knew the positions of all the remaining cards. However, her turn came a little too late. If her opponent followed up, the match would be decided. Dun dun dun.
北条、悪いけど、僕も優勝賞金を狙ってるんだ。悪く思うなよ。
This guy. Did he have the locations of remaining cards memorized? He was completely certain of his victory. The tension on his face relaxed.
決まったな。
I whispered that in a bored manner as I turned my attention back to my own game. I spun the wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
そんな、確かにここはハートのエース。
There was a commotion at Satoko's table as the shout rang out. The other two at my table turned around in surprise. I didn't. After all, there really wasn't anything to be surprised about. The onlookers were confounded. Most of them were certain that the ace of hearts should have been there. There's no way. I must have been seeing things. It must have been because I was excited. So assured in his victory, the distress over his defeat ran deep. That's how it is. If his opponent wasn't Satoko, then the ace of hearts certainly would have been there. What a fool. When you're up against Satoko, you can't let your guard down for a moment until the battle was over.
あら、ケイチさんの勝負はまだつきませんの？センスないですわね。
With a refined tone of voice reserved only for winners, Satoko called out to me. Oops. For a casual observer, it must have looked like she only eked out her victory. From my point of view, however, she was only playing around. The roles of winner and loser had already been decided. It was nothing more than child's play. The laughable part about it was that her opponent didn't know his role had already been assigned.
やるじゃねえか。ハートのエースなんておしゃれな罠をかけやがって。
相手を仕留める罠はほんのちょっぴり。それも1個で十分ですのよ。
Satoko was a trapper. Her true talent was never having one misfire. Setting off only one trap was more than enough, huh? Ain't that cool? The fact that the other club members were winning one after another with their own brand of play only added to my impatience and my own lack of progress. Alright, how's Rika-chan doing? How's our club's sly little fox doing? What the heck is that? Over in that corner, the table was decidedly different from the others. The game at Rika-chan's table was... You know that battery-powered fishing game? The one where the fish opened and closed their mouths as they rotated on the platform, and you used a magnetic fishing rod to pick them up? That old thing. It It seemed they planned on competing by seeing who could catch the most fish, but it had become an atmosphere you could hardly call competitive.
わあ、釣れましたですよ。
うまいうまい。リカちゃんうまいよ。おっとっと、また釣られちゃったよ。
Wow.
リカちゃんはうまいな。
I knew that Rika-chan had already charmed her opponents, along with the onlookers, before the match had even begun, but brilliantly played. The corner had become an informal meeting of Rika Furude fan club.
リカちゃんの圧勝だよ。圧勝だよ。リカちゃん、お魚釣りうまいんだね。
リカちゃんが釣ってるのは多分魚じゃないと思うな。
Hearing that, she glanced over my way briefly. This is my way of getting serious. That's what I heard.
リカにしかできない、リカだから許される大技ですわね。
Yeah. Masterful technique.
前原さんの番ですよ。
ああ、すまん。俺の番か。1、2、脱税の追徴課税。
RIP.
5万ドル支払い。
In contrast, my game. What an unseemly situation this was. Noticing the uneasiness creeping across my face, my companions came to see how I was doing.
あれ？ケイチ君、ひょっとして苦戦かな？
I'm struggling in a game of luck. What do you do?
岡村、
Like purely luck.
あなた今いくらぐらい持ってますですの？
Komura, who had wrung out lots of money out of an elite course, began to count through a stack of white $100,000 bills.
98万ちょいくらいかな。
富田はどれくらいお金持ちですか？
僕は88万ドル。
Yes, but what about liquid assets?
まだまだ
I
逆
mean,
転できる位置だね。
not liquid assets. Those two. It looked like they would easily surpass $1 million, but isn't the game called Billionaire? And how about you?
ケイちゃんはいくら持ってんの？
Wait, didn't he just lose? How much did he lose? 50,000, okay. Neon's tone of voice was grim from the get-go. It was her disappointment and disgust as club president.
仕方ねえだろ。このゲーム、ルーレット回す以外に何も作戦がないんだぜ。
Figure out a way to affect how you can what you
イカ
spend.
様があるとしたらなんだよ。二人に目をつぶって100数えてもらって、その隙にルーレットに細工でもするのか？そんなのできるわけねえだろ。
Rika-chan gently pet my head. Still, she wasn't too happy.
プー様ですわね。一度は好敵手と思ったのに。幻滅でしたよ。投げちゃダメだよ、ケイチ君。
Yeah, there's still plenty of game to go through.
何か逆転があるはずだよ。頑張ろ
I'm reminded of how
う。
Achievement
最後
Hunter
まで
played
頑張ろ
Game of Life, and Ryan got screwed over again and again and again. Like I said, how am I supposed to make a comeback with this game relying entirely on luck? Right, Mion? Mion's face, however, was almost unbelievably indifferent, like she was watching something completely unexciting. She then turned her back without saying a
お
word.
い、ミヤ。
This pathetic voice fatigued even myself.
失望したよ。みんな本気なのに、ケイちゃんだけは本気になってくれなかったね。
本気ってなんだよ。気合でルーレットの目をコントロールしろってのかよ。
Yes.
そんなのできるかよ。
本気のケイちゃんならそのゲームでも開始10秒で蹴りをつけてたね。
I don't see how.
みーちゃん、そんなに怒ることないよ。
Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
待ってよ。
I wasn't paying attention to where the mouse was. Mion, in a bad mood, cast me aside and disappeared into the depths of the shop. Maybe because had become an awkward situation, the spectators dispersed from around my table. Damn it! Are you saying I'm not serious about this? Saying if I was serious, I would have settled the game in chance in 10 seconds. If I was serious. Everybody was praying for my victory. They believed in me. Did I betray their expectations? Was it because I wasn't serious?
ゲーム進めます？
The two of them were timidly trying to resume play. I didn't respond to that. Only the Higurashi. The table sunk into silence.
前原君は投了でいいかな。
The owner, thinking I was forfeiting, started to announce the cancellation of the game. At that moment, the demon inside me let loose a howl and awakened. I get it now, Mion. What it means for me to be serious. I'll show you! Bam. I clamped my head on his shoulders, speaking in a low voice after pulling him closer.
富田君、岡村君、取引しよう。俺を勝たせろ。
And I'll give you part of the winnings. The two of them, not immediately understanding what I had just said, or the meaning behind it, were momentarily confused.
前原さん、暴力はな、ちゃんとゲームでしょ。
話は最後まで聞け。お前らの望みは何だ？優勝して5万円か？
そりゃそうですよ。5万なんて大金、二度とないチャンスですよ。
仮に優勝したとして、お前らその5万で何をする？どんな楽しみ方をする？
The two of them considered briefly.
新しいゲーム買うとか、お菓子とか、ジュースとか。
小せえ。
Also, how exactly are they going to allow him to win?
バカかお前ら。
Still a game of chance.
じゃあ前原さんが勝ったらどんな楽しみ方があるって言うんですか？
俺か？そこが本題だ。今から言うことを黙って聞け。
We club members have a penalty game separate from the casual participants. If we lose, we have to obey a single command from the winner. From another point of view, the winner earns the prize of being able to order the other club members around.
まず富田君、君は里子萌えだよな。否定すんな。
Wow.
そして岡村君、君は理科萌えだな。
Okay then.
赤くなるな。
I drew the two of them, faced and conscious of whether anybody else heard what I just said, even closer.
一緒だ。萌え。男の推薦、男のロマン。
The sound effects as well.
例えるなら永遠にたどり着けないエデンの園。だけど目指すんだろ。それは俺たちのハートに熱い魂が燃えよと叫ぶからだ。
That sensitive age where you couldn't say you liked the girl you like. Understanding that gave me all the more power.
俺が優勝したら富田君、里子を一日首輪付きで君の妹にしてあげよう。
A red fountain spewed from both of Tomita's nostrils.
そして岡村君、君には猫耳リカちゃんに手綱をつけてお散歩させてあげよう。
Okay then. Blood erupted from the vein in wait, what? Okamuru's forehead? What?
そうそう、そんなこと、そんな、
Oh dear.
うろたえるな。お前たちは俺に無理やり付き合わされたことにすればいいんだ。前原先輩のわがままの犠牲者なだけいやいやでいいんだよ。分かってる。お前たちの胸の内は全部分かってる。
Then I suddenly lowered the tone of my voice.
俺は灰色の学校生活を送ってきた。それがどんなにつまらなく、人生の大切な時間を浪費したことになるのか、身をもって知った。だから、後輩のお前たちには、そんな時間を過ごしてほしくないんだよ。
It's getting ridiculous. So, on that note, I will end this here for today before we go on to the next round of the game. So, let me know what you think about it in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you. Yes, that's right, I hope you enjoyed as well. Bye.